My name is Yuji Wendler, CEO of Team Travel International, and today I would like to talk to my colleague in Dubai, Alberto Cavallo, Managing Director of Impact, the DMC for the United Arab Emirates and Oman. We would like to ask him about the restart in the UAE, welcoming travelers again. Alberto, thank you very much for taking time today. We've seen that the last weeks and months have been kind of crazy for all of us in the EU, and I believe it was the same situation in the UAE. The situation comes down slowly, and you're facing a really big day on July 7th, as Dubai will open or reopen its borders to welcome back travelers. Can you tell us something about the last months and the big day you're expecting?
So, hi, Yuji. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity and for inviting me to this chat and to talk about the situation here. So yes, my name is Alberto. I'm Managing Director and the Chief Experience Officer for Impact, Event and Destination Management. We are based in the UAE. We cater to clients from international that are bringing their incentive travel and conferences to our destination, to the UAE, to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, to Ras Al Khaimah, and also to Oman. And to come to your point and to your question, yes, the big day is coming. 7th of July is the day when the borders are opening again. And yes, tourists are being welcomed back to Dubai. But not only, also Ras Al Khaimah had just recently announced fantastic news. Ras Al Khaimah, the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah is opening up not only for tourism, they are doing that already since mid of May, where they are offering local stays in Ras Al Khaimah, but with immediate effect, they're basically opening also everything that has to do with business events. So as Emirates and the borders are opening in Dubai, we will be able to host your next incentive, conference, or group experience in Ras Al Khaimah. That is the first, worldwide first, certified and safe place to do your next event. So Ras Al Khaimah is on the map. Please have a look at it. If you have never heard of the name of it, have a look at it. It's a neighbor emirate to Dubai. And it's an absolutely beautiful destination. It combines the three natural highlights. The biggest, the tallest mountain of the UAE is in Ras Al Khaimah, Jebel Jais, with the longest zipline flight in the world, a 3-kilometer zipline flight down the mountain. You have beautiful beaches, wonderful waters of the Arabian Sea, and you have the desert as well in Ras Al Khaimah, so you can do a nice combination of the various natural topography of the place. So that's just a little bit of an insight of what's happening from the 7th onwards, basically.
Oh, fantastic. Like, how do hotels like in beaches, restaurants and venues actually prepare? I mean, what will they do to ensure that like business travelers or leisure travelers as well, maybe meeting attendees, will be safe, or let's say you have this confidence and feel this, feel secure?
Yeah, so consumer confidence is really the point and the key word. How do we increase the consumer confidence? How do we ensure that the entire experience is seamless and secure and safe for all delegates coming, or it could also be leisure travelers coming to stay and do their next vacation trip to the UAE. So starting from the home airport, the European airports have obviously got the latest standards. Then if you fly with Emirates or Etihad into the destination, the airline has got the latest measures with air cleaning, circulation in the plane, with hygiene standards that are really being prepped and topped up so that you feel safe and secure in the flight. Once you get to the airport in Dubai, we have now a new regulation wherein as an arrival delegate, you need to provide a health insurance, travel insurance. You also need to provide a certificate that you have been tested for COVID. And if you have a negative test, obviously you're allowed to travel and you are allowed to get into the country. This test should not be older than, I think, 96 hours, I think 3 or 4 days. And as you reach to the airport, if you don't have a test that certifies that you're negative, you will be tested at the airport. At the moment, this test is free of charge. Moving forward, we don't know 100% how that will progress, but for now you're being tested at the airport only if you do not provide a certificate from your home country. And then you get to the hotel where all the infrastructure is basically being prepared. We will have thermal measurements at all entrances. All the public areas have got thermal measurement infrastructure. You will be measured basically with the laser cannon on your forehead. I think they're pretty similar in Europe as well when you get into the mall or into the hotels. And social distancing has been applied everywhere in the restaurants. In public areas, you're still wearing masks. When you are within your hotel infrastructure, the mask is not required, but as long as you're in a public space, there is mask requirement. We have in restaurants and bars are operating in a way that you are being serviced on the table. So the bars itself are not accessible. The bar counter is not accessible. There's no interaction. All the menus have gone online. So you basically just use your QR code reader on the phone to read all the menus. That is really across the board, across all the Emirates, and all the restaurants are applying the same safety standards. So the social distancing technology has been applied across the board, and it gives you a really good, really safe and all-round feeling. So I am with my family traveling quite a lot within the UAE as long as the borders to go out are not open, and we feel really safe. We go to the beaches, we go to the restaurants, we go to the beach clubs, we go to the hotels, and it's been a very pleasant experience across the board in all the Emirates. And again, it's not just only in Dubai or only in Abu Dhabi or only in Ras Al Khaimah. It's really across the board, wherein all the institutions and suppliers are applying the same high-level safety standards.
How about like hotels, for example, hotel buffets? Do you know something about the buffets?
So at the moment, hotel buffets are not offered. There are very small stations wherein food preparation is done on for your specific plating. So it's been plated, it's been served to your table, and buffet as per now are not available. That may change obviously as we move on, but right now the regulations does not foresee any buffet dining.
Okay. Are there any measures like from the Dubai Tourism Board concerning like the standards which you just mentioned? Because I'm just thinking about my colleagues in Malta, for example. Malta has a certificate, so as far as I know, like all the restaurants with a lot of tourists coming in, they will be tested and they have like a certificate. They put that like a big sticker on the door. Is there something like that from the tourism authorities there?
So the tourism authorities are obviously putting forward guidelines on how the hotels have to operate, but each hotel brand, speaking of Accor and Hilton and the Sheratons of the world, they have their own internal guidelines and safety precautions that are put in place. And what the hotels are doing, they're basically taking the most stringent ones, the most strict ones, to ensure the quality and safety level are granted. To bring us back to Ras Al Khaimah, the emirate that I mentioned earlier, Ras Al Khaimah just went through a triple certification, the World Health Organization certification. They went through the Bureau Veritas certification on all the tourism infrastructure, all the activities, all the hotels, all the restaurants have been certified. And the Health Authority of the United Arab Emirates and the Health Authority of the respective emirate are also certifying that again. So going through a triple certification definitely ensures that all the experiences are seamless and are up to scratch. And also not to forget that the UAE has just recently been rated one of the 3 safest countries in the world to travel to.
True. Yeah, especially Oman, where we met last time. I was super surprised to hear that. Yeah, it's one of the safest countries in the world, right?
So in terms of safety, when it comes to pickpockets, obviously the countries are very safe. But talking about safety, health and safety measures and health and safety standards in relation to COVID-19, the UAE have been rated amongst the 3 safest countries in the world to travel.
Great. Great, fantastic. Which trends do you see for the restart in especially our business, like MICE business, concerning incentive experiences which we sell, or like more specifically, what will change in our business? What do you think?
Well, I think as long as the incentive experiences are kept safe and sound from an operating perspective, what needs to be done is basically that potentially maybe the group sizes will have to be split into smaller groups. So if you have 300 people arriving, we will maybe not have 300 people at once in one location, but split them off in smaller groups and run activities simultaneously, just to ensure that the social distancing is granted. On the other side, I see a big trend on the virtual eventing side as well. So when it comes to conferencing, We're actively working now on various events where we are offering hybrid solutions. So when a conference originally was planned for 350, 400 people, right now we are working on 120, and the remaining delegates will attend that conference from a virtual platform that we are providing. We're at the moment actively working on 2 conferences, one for November, one for January, and they're ranging between 120 and 250 delegates. And we're putting already in place various measures to ensure that the virtual, the hybrid attendance can be granted. So as Impact, we also specialize in delivering these hybrid solutions and virtual solutions.
Oh, fantastic. That's fantastic. Like, what's the outlook for you, for the UAE, for your business? What's your general outlook for the upcoming months? You've just mentioned you are already working on events coming up in November and January. Like, what's your opinion about the next months?
So I think the most important relevant factor is that the consumer confidence in traveling has to be there. So if the delegate is not ready to step into the plane, if the corporate meeting planner is not ready to start planning events, conferences, and incentives overseas, we're at the mercy of the planner at the end of the day. So I think that is one of the key aspects. So it is our responsibility and it's our duty to educate, to ensure that the confidence is growing in cooperation with the main stakeholders, which are the government offices, which are the convention bureaus, the hotel suppliers. So we are working very closely with all of these stakeholders here in the destination. We also launched a series, which is basically an online conference, event that we have just recently broadcasted on the 11th of June. And it's the uaemiceconnection conference that we are at the moment again planning for the edition number 2, which is at the moment planned for October. These are measures that are put in place from our side as a local operator to show how the destination is evolving, what the destination is doing in terms of health and safety measures, and how we are intended to grow the consumer confidence. And welcome back meeting planner and event organizer to the UAE, to Abu Dhabi, to Oman, Dubai, and Ras Al Khaimah, of course.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you very much. It's very positive, and it's good to hear what you're working on right now. And I hope that that business bounces back very soon. Alberto, thank you very much. I know you have a very tight schedule. Thank you very much for taking time today for this very short interview. I hope to see you live again soon, wherever on this world, maybe on one of the next of the shows coming up, maybe in Barcelona. Who knows? Yeah, and wish you all the best for the next weeks and months. And we'll definitely have a look into your format. Yeah, thank you very much again for your time.
Appreciate. Thank you, Yuji, for the conversation. It was very helpful, and I hope we can together stimulate some demand and some interest. And please rest assured that whenever your clients with your delegates are traveling to the UAE, you will be looked after, you will feel safe, and you will have an amazing experience with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking time. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.